In this video, I'm going to show you how to transcend the mass consensus, the social conditioning, in order to really create what you want in your life. We're going to look at reality transurfing, which is a powerful manifestation process, and we're going to learn how we can transcend the mass thought consensus so that we can really be who we prefer to be. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron, and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a couple more ideas from the book called Reality Transurfing. Now this is a book that I've been sharing with you guys. You guys have been loving it, so I've decided to keep talking more about it. Now the idea of pendulums might sound like like what does that word mean? It sounds kind of mysterious, right? Well, first off, let me say Reality Transurfing is a book that was written by a quantum physicist in Russia. It was originally written in Russian, now it's been translated to a whole bunch of different languages. It's really starting to catch on as a very powerful way to create what you want in your life. In a way, what it does is it incorporates the understanding of the Eastern philosophy of detachment, and it incorporates that with understanding parallel realities, with understanding how to really be peaceful and okay and aware right now in the present moment to create what you want in your life. Now, the reason I'm sharing this is because I've been applying it in my own life, and I've been seeing amazing changes. Things are happening much easier. I've been sharing law of attraction books or law of attraction processes on this channel for over a year now, and this to me has been one of the most powerful. So that's why I'm sharing it with you. A lot of what the program or the process, because it's a book, a lot of the process has to do with intention, understanding that we choose what we want in our life, how to detach from the outcome, how to decrease the importance of something because there's balancing factors that go into play. So we shouldn't desire something, we should intend for it, and that's mainly a lot of the parts of it. Now there's another part of reality transurfing that is called pendulums. Now pendulums is a word that has to do with understanding thought structure. So think about it like this. Anytime we are thinking about something, we may not see where the thoughts are, we may know there's electrical impulses in our brain, but at the same time there is an electromagnetic energy that exists with these thoughts, and they go out into the universe as a way that we can think about it. Now what happens is, because there's many of us on the planet and we're all connected, if we are thinking certain thoughts consistently, or we are linking up and thinking similarly to someone else, those thoughts can join together and they create what is called a pendulum. Think of a pendulum as a thought structure that starts to develop its own momentum. So you may have noticed that they have these places on the earth called sacred sites, and when you go to these sacred sites, there's a certain type of energy there. Well, it has to do with the ley lines on the earth. There's a couple other reasons that could be, but it also could be, and something that could attribute to it is the fact that people go there for spiritual involvement. People go there with a certain intention, therefore those thoughts correlate with the place. Now you may have also known this if you ever go to a place where it's kind of scary. Maybe people that have been scared before there, maybe people that have been there before that have been scared, their energy, their thoughts have lingered in that area, and when you go, you kind of walk into that pendulum and you start to feel the same way. Now the same thing will happen if you go to a sports game. Sometimes the reason people really love going to sports games is because when you go, you take on the mass pendulum of the crowd. You get fed into the energy, you can feel it, you get very energetic. That is also a pendulum. Pendulums are, you can think of in a way kind of like social conditioning. I'm not saying whether social conditioning is bad or good. If you aren't aware of it, normally it can be a negative thing because it continues to run itself out. But with pendulums, there's two or three ways you can really use pendulums. Most people are completely unaware of them. Now, you don't need to be aware of the word pendulum. It's just the way that it's described in the book. But the idea is most people think that they are thinking their own thoughts. Most of the thoughts that you are thinking, most of the desires you have, unless you become aware of them and you come from your heart, they are thoughts of other people. They are thoughts of pendulums, of other structures that you have in a way bought into unconsciously. This is why awareness is the most powerful thing when it comes to this whole process, because then you begin to transcend that social conditioning. You begin to transcend those thought structures. So in a way, what we do is we walk around and we assume, anytime we get involved in some political type debate, whether we're on one side or the other, we're a part of the pendulum. Pendulums are in just about everything. Anytime people think in a similar way, they are creating a thought structure, and the thought structures want nothing else but to remain alive. So they will feed on us. Now, we don't need to think of this in so much of a negative way. It's just about being aware that these have a power of their own, and they want to continue to perpetuate themselves. So when we become aware of it, we can see that the point is not to fight a pendulum, because if you fight it, you will never win, because it's such a powerful structure, whatever the pendulum is. But the idea is that what you must learn to do is to observe it and be aware of what that is. Now, there's a pendulum when you go to work every day. There's a pendulum within the company that you work for, which means that there's a certain rules and structures for the way that you have to act. And if you act outside of that pendulum, then there's consequences or things happen. And if you abide to the rules, there's certain things that can happen. It depends on how you go about it. However, the point of this is that you can still use the pendulum, but you have to be aware that you are using it. You have to be aware of the process. Now, let me give you an example. Say that your boss comes up to you and he's being a little bit bossy and he wants you to do something, and you are aware that it is, has some type of, maybe it's coming from upper management or something like that. You can be aware that that boss is maybe pressuring you because of something maybe he was pressured from. And he may be saying something to you, he may have his ego, or she may have her ego in a certain way, and it's maybe affecting you in a certain way. However, if you are aware of it and you are detached because you're just observing it, it won't have as much power over you, but you can still play to it. So it means that you could still, kind of go back and forth. You could kind of agree, even though, you can kind of just use your words in the right way, to where it's like you're able to kind of use your communication skills to work with the boss in a certain way, or to kind of make him feel or her feel better about whatever you guys are talking about. But nonetheless, it's about being aware of what that is, and as you bring awareness into it, you start to transcend the power of the pendulum. There's pendulums for even becoming successful, right? You can model the success of somebody else. Because so many people have paved the way, that is one way to go about it, and you can use those pendulums, those processes, in order to propel yourself into success. However, with reality transurfing, something else that's even talked about that's even more important is finding your authentic stamp by doing your own thing, by not playing to other people's scripts. So the modeling success works, but the power is actually in paving your own way. Those are how stars are born. Those are how celebrities are made. It's because, one, they're doing their passion so much, but also they play to their own rules. They have their own unique set of skills or personality that appeals to a massive amount of people, and then those people feed into their pendulum, feed into those celebrity thought processes, and they add and build up a thought structure around it. So this is where the power is. It's in the awareness. You can either use pendulums to help yourself become more successful by being aware of the process and doing certain actions that lead to certain results, or you can fight the pendulums. The pendulums will always win. You'll always find yourself resistant because of it, or you can just simply observe it and pave your own way, which is one of the most powerful things you can do. But it's about really being aware of who you are and how you correlate with what is called reality transurfing, how you use it. You don't have to understand exactly how all of this works. Just understand that there's an electromagnetic charge to your thoughts, that when they go out, they team up with other thoughts. You can think of it in a way to where when you become aware of your thoughts, you start to transcend the unconsciousness of doing the same things over and over again, always getting the same result. And that's why it can be so powerful for you to become aware of what you're thinking, how you relate your inner world to your outer world, and how you set intentions throughout your day. So also, when it comes to reality transurfing, one of the most powerful things I think you could do is to start to set more intentions in your daily life. This is something that I've been doing. I set intentions. An intention, just to kind of, it's like a will, it's a determination, it's a will to act, a will to be. When you think of it like that, it's like, kind of like an expectation, but you're not attached to the outcome. I'm going to go do this, or this is my intention. It's a very powerful train of thought. It's a very powerful thing that you could set throughout your day, and if you do it just with little things, you'll find that amazing things begin to happen. Most people just simply don't set intentions, and because of that, they get exactly what they ask for, and they're not asking for anything. So the key is to understand that your way of asking is by setting intentions. Now there's, you could look at this even from like Abraham Hicks, segment intending. I think it's something that very much correlates with reality transurfing. There's a couple things that are different between the teachings, of course, but the idea is that if you set intentions for every segment you go throughout your day, so think of a segment like right now I'm filming a video, I have an intention that I add as much value as I can, that I express myself in a certain way. Then after this, if I were to go to the gym, I would imagine myself and have an intention to have a safe drive to the gym. Then I'm at the gym, I have an intention to have a really good workout. Then after that, I have an intention to sweat a lot in the sauna and to feel really good afterwards. Then I go do that. Then I have an intention to take a good shower. You know, see what I mean? You can just set these little intentions, and you don't have to always think about them over and over again. But what you can begin to do is when you do it, you start to develop momentum. Think of it like the thoughts go out and you start to build that thought structure, and it becomes easier and easier for you to catch into that flow state and for it to become something that's natural for you. So be aware of what that is. Understand that as you set intentions throughout your day, you are linking up with that reality. Don't have as strong of an importance that everything has to happen the way that you want. Make it something that's more natural. Create from a more of an observer point of view. That's a powerful part of reality transurfing as well. I'll go deeper in future videos on reality transurfing. I think that it's something that can really transform your life. It can also help you raise your vibrational set point, which is important for you to create what you want the easiest way possible with the law of attraction. That's why also I've created a free MP3 guided meditation for raising your vibrational set point so that you create from a higher point of view. So that's something you can download for absolutely free. You can listen to it for 21 days. I think you'll get amazing results, and that's going to be in the description box below. And other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you guys liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that little notification gear next to the subscribe button so that you can see the daily vids that I do. And other than that, as always, I will see you guys on the next vid. Peace, much love, and namaste.